is up YouTube? My name is Marky and this is my first video on this channel. It's not my first YouTube video. I do have other channels. I do have an Instagram page that I post on daily, but I wanted to start a YouTube page dedicated solely to me speaking to you guys just in this format. And today's video is my plan, my trading plan, to kind of motivate you guys and show you guys the plan that I have set out for myself. Now, I'm 6 years into trading and I have enough experience to understand the path that one must take in order to first make money from trading, and now the path that I must take in order to scale up. Now, I've been getting payouts from trading for the last 4 years. I've been trading for 6 years and it took me almost 2 of those years to actually become profitable. And now that I'm profitable, it's just a matter of scaling. And every year I've still had to learn countless lessons. The markets are never going to stop teaching you. There's always going to be a different condition for you to actually learn from. And so in this video, I'm going to break down the plan that I have in order to succeed in scaling up from those 10K months, 25K months, up to 50K. Let's start from 50K, and I'll probably come back in about a year and double that and aim for a plan to make 100K in a month. Now, I've already had some insanely good months, but at the same time, I've had some bad months, and that's just how trading is. And one of the things that comes with experience is just learning that you're not always going to be able to even make money from trading. There are going to be times where the weeks are untradeable, where there's going to be so much news and volatility that it just makes it really difficult, depending on the style of trading that you have. Now, if you're a scalper, it's going to be much easier staying profitable, honestly. I am more of a swing trader, and especially if I aim for big moves, big range moves, then whenever market conditions are moving sideways, it's going to be really difficult for me to make any money inside of that week or 2 week period where the market's just moving sideways. And so my advice for you, if you're also a swing trader, is there's going to be times like that. And that's why I'm going to break down a specific plan that you can incorporate just as well as I have incorporated in the years that I've been trading to continuously stay making money throughout the years. Now, I also do social media, and my advice to everybody, now I'm out here putting myself out here and I do get paid for what I do, both in trading and in social media. And my advice to you guys, that if you guys aren't comfortable putting yourselves out on social media, showing others what you do, teaching others, or even just talking and motivating other people, then when you're starting off, you're not always going to have the capital. And the honest truth is that when it comes to trading, you need capital to actually be a successful day trader. You need capital because there's going to be periods where you lose everything. There's going to be periods where you have bad days or bad losses or bad weeks, and you're not going to be able to make money. And especially when it comes to a responsible adult that has bills, that has children to provide for, that has a family or a significant other to provide for, you cannot expect foolishly to hop into trading and make money and support yourself fully from what you're doing if you're not ready, prepared to do that, if you're not mentally there. And so my advice is that if you don't have a job right now and you want to get into trading, start first by getting a job. Get your hands dirty. Record yourself. I mean, think about it. You're going to be able to look back at these times that you worked in a small fast food or whatever it is, the job that you're going to get. And you're going to see the growth, and you're going to so much better understand how much the money that you make in trading is worth to you, how much more valuable it is. And greed is one of those biggest things in trading that makes people unprofitable. Greed is one of those things that holds a lot of traders back. And it's because you can make money like this at the snap of your fingers. You enter a position, especially if you have a lot of money and you place a big lot size position, within minutes you can be up thousands of dollars. And just as fast as you make those thousands of dollars, just as fast will you lose them if you're not psychologically prepared for it, if you don't really understand the value of money. And not understanding the value of money was one of the biggest mistakes that I had in my first year trading. Now, like I said, it took me almost 2 years to become profitable, and I've been trading for 6. And the reason why I took that entire year of unprofitable results was likely due to the fact that I first learned incorrectly. I learned from one of my friends in real life who taught me how to trade from candlestick Bible, from trend lines, support and resistance, and all these other nonsense strategies that simply didn't help me understand the markets. My biggest problem was actually understanding to read the market. And so my first year, I was just kind of tossing accounts at the wall, and none of them really stuck. But I didn't have a painful beginning where I spent a lot of money on accounts. I was still taking it slow. I had a lot of accounts given to me by this friend, and it was really helpful, like actually learning how to trade. Now, a lot of people also, they spend too much money, and one of my other pieces of advice is not to dig yourself into a hole that you're then going to spend the next few years trying to get out of. Instead of doing that, start small, so that the moment that you get profitable, boom, all of your losses from the first year or two are gone within a month. And that's not going to be the case or reality. If you guys have seen people posting about that, it's true for me as well. The first month that I actually became profitable, I made back every single dollar that I lost. And it's going to be the same for you guys if you do it correctly. If you've seen other people posting that, like, once you're profitable, guys, it's going to be worth it. You're going to make back all your money. And that is true because those people did it properly. They did not dig themselves into a hole. But a lot of people, they're like, oh, once I'm profitable, I'll make it all back. And then they start buying a bunch of accounts. And they spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 trying to become profitable. You're not going to be able to make that back within your first month of being profitable. I actually can guarantee you that you're not going to make back such a big amount within your first month of becoming profitable. Because the moment that you become profitable, things typically tend to go back down. It's that cycle of, like, you finally reach profitability and there's a few more things that you have to learn with trading on a funded account, with actually making money and how to keep the money that you make without reinvesting it into accounts and then blowing those accounts. There's a system to keeping the money. And I'm going to start the video because obviously, as I said, this video is my roadmap to making $50K a month from trading. Now, what I currently do already as a trader is I trade with a live account. I've gotten to a point where I trade from a live account. My roadmap to $50K. Honestly, you guys, if you want this this PDF that I'm going to make with my exact roadmap, then you can send me a message after. You can follow me on Instagram. I have 35,000 followers on Instagram. It's not a small page. Send me a message. I'll get back to you, and I'll send you this exact roadmap because it's the roadmap that I'm making for myself and sharing with you guys in this video. Now, I'm already trading with a live account, but it took me a few years to work up to a live account. I never thought that I'd even be able to get to a live account when I started trading because trading with a live account just seemed impossible. You needed so much money to trade with a live account. And now my current equity in my live account is sitting at around $27,000 from this week, but I typically trade with around $20,000. Now, in order to get to a point where I was able to trade live, I started on prop firms. My first 4 years of trading were on prop firms. And your roadmap, if you are starting from a complete beginner, is to start with prop firms. You're going to start with a smaller account. Now, for me personally, I started pretty big. I started off with like a 25K account. That was the first account that I personally paid for and ended up blowing. But for you guys, I recommend, because I spent like a few $100s, like 200 something dollars on that 25K account, and it wasn't a easy loss for me because I was still a teenager when I started. And it wasn't an easy loss losing that $300 and thinking, oh, I have to spend another $300 for another account before I can actually make money. Then there's no guarantee that I'm going to pass the next one or the one after that. And that reality hit me. So for you guys, if you're starting off, start off small. Start off with a 5K account. Get some payouts on the 5K account and use those payouts on the 5K account to pay for your payouts, to pay for your accounts, the bigger ones. Once you scale from 5K, go to a 25K, then to a 50K. And then there's 2 different variations of prop firms. So this could be a complete other video where I'm just purely giving you guys advice that I wish I had when I started. But let's get back into the topic of this video, which is my roadmap to 50K a month. Now, there are 2 types of prop firms. There is Forex and futures prop firms. What are the benefits of both and how should I trade them in order to hit that goal? So currently, the prop firms that I'm mainly trading on are futures prop firms, and I have one big Forex account, or like I have a few, but with one prop firm. So I have 3 200K accounts, which equals to 600K in funding with Funded Hero. Funded Hero is the prop firm that I'm currently using for Forex. Now their payout split is once every 21 days for the first payout and 14 days for the aftermath. So if I was to blow any of the accounts that I have right now, I'd have to restart and obviously do that. But my plan for these 2 600K fundeds that I have right now is to take trades on them until I hit that minimum 1%. So in order to get a payout on these accounts with Funded Hero, all you need is 1% and then waiting for your payout date. So right now with the 200K, 1% is 2,000. I'd aim for 3-4%. So 3-4% on each one of these accounts. If I was able to hit 3-4% on each one of these accounts, it started raining. I really like the view, but it's literally raining on me right now. Dang it, guys. I love this lighting and the view that I have right here. There you go. Just move inside. Okay, so 3-4%. 3% is $6,000. 4% is $8,000 on a 200K account. $8,000 times 3, $24,000. Now, $24,000 is already pretty much hitting that goal. And I'm not saying that I can guarantee 3-4% on each one of these accounts, but it is very possible for me to do that. And I have had a 25K month already. Now, in order for me to do this, I'm gonna have to trade all of them, not combined. I don't like to copy trade, honestly. I like to trade each one of them separately. But if I can make 3-4%, I'm already halfway to the goal. If I was to make 4%. So I'm gonna set 4% as the goal for each one of these accounts. And if I don't get it, then that month by itself is just simply not going to be a 50K month. But 4% on each one of those 200K accounts will get me 24K. 24K. So what I have to do is pretty much trade each one of those accounts. I think I could do it in a week where I trade the first account, I make 2-3%, try to catch that trade, close it. As soon as I'm done, trade one account at a time. And as soon as I'm done with one account, I move to the next. So next. Okay, so trade one account at a time, hit 4%, move to the next one. And that's the process that I'm going to have, because obviously the payout split is going to be either 14 days or 21 days. So as soon as I hit that, I stop trading for the month and start focusing on the other variation that I have in order to make the remaining amount for this 50K month. Now, just from this Forex account, remember that's just the Forex accounts that I currently have, 24K, that's already halfway done. Now, with the futures accounts, it's a little more difficult for me to consistently pull out money from the futures accounts because most of them require 5 winning days that I trade with. But one of the prop firms for futures that I trade with is called Trade Day, and Trade Day allows me to get payouts daily. But if I am going to be trading with Trade Day every single day, then that's also going to take time away from my live account. So I'm going to have to make a plan that separates Trade Day from my live account. I'd say Trade Day because it's a prop firm and I obviously don't spend as much money as my live account. My live account, I don't want to lose the equity that I have because that's my own money, right? But with a prop firm, I'm willing to risk it. So this is what I'm going to do to maximize the trades that I can take every single week. Mondays and Tuesdays, which you guys typically would know, are the worst days of the week. They set up for what the week is going to do. So Wednesday, Thursday, I'd say are the highest probability days, and Fridays are on and off, where some of the weeks, Fridays are an amazing day, and other days it's going to be a bad day. So my rules for myself with this futures account Trade Day, which I can get payouts on every single day, I typically trade with a 50K on Trade Day because I don't like spending more money on a futures prop firm when once you're past the buffer zone, it really doesn't matter. It's all the same. 50K. So getting past the buffer zone, once I'm past the buffer zone, I get to withdraw every single day at the end of the day. So I'm going to trade Mondays and Tuesdays. On this Trade Day 50K account. Daily payouts. Mondays and Tuesdays because those are low probability days. Then on my live account, I'm going to trade Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the reason why, like I said, is to maximize the high probability days on the account that I can make the most amount of money on. Now, while on Trade Day, I can still use a decent amount of leverage on a futures account with 50K. it's still more, I have more of an ability to make money on my live account because I can place higher lot size on gold and I can hold them. So typically what I do on my live account is I swing trade. Like I said, I'm mainly a swing trader. This doesn't mean that I don't close the positions right away. I always take partials at key levels. Like I enter my position, there's a high or a low, and as soon as it gets to that high, I'll chop off half the position or even the majority of the position. If I enter with 2 lots, I'll chop off 1 lot or 1.5 lots, leave that remaining one running every single time. I've never once closed the full amount of a trade because there's just the possibility that you go to sleep after placing a trade and you wake up the next day and it's floating another $5,000. And that's happened to me this week. This week alone, I have walked away with $9,000 just from my live account, by the way. And that was an amazing week. And the reason why I was able to pull that off is because I closed my first partial at $1,700. And then I woke up with the remaining 0.5 of the position. And that 0.5 ran $100 down on gold. And that ended up being an additional $5,000. So my plan is obviously going to be trade day on the low probability days. So let me write that down. Low probability. And then on the live account, I'm going to trade high probability days. And like I said, I do have other YouTube channels. If you guys are interested in learning more about what a low probability or a high probability day looks like, or even a trading strategy to actually get in and out of positions, you can find my YouTube channel titled Marky Trades on YouTube, or Trades by Marky is the username, and you can watch my videos on there on specific strategy for entry, exit, and concepts. This channel is more of like raw content of me talking to you guys about what it takes to actually be profitable, the psychological things that I go through, and the things that you guys have to overcome to actually become a profitable trader. And like I said, I've been writing all of this down. So just to recap so far, Forex versus futures. On the Forex accounts, it takes a long time to get a payout. Nice. On a Forex account, it takes a while to get a payout, 14 to 21 days. So as soon as I hit that 4%, I'm done trading those accounts and I'll wait for my payout date on each of those accounts. So that might take the first week of the month, and therefore I'm already sitting at 24K. If that takes the first week of the month, I'm glad it takes the first week, because it can take 2 weeks for me to actually hit 4% on all the accounts. But once I'm done with that, I sit and wait for the payout day, and that would be 8K each, which is huge. But that's still pretty good for a 200K, and that's not pushing it too much. I'm not risking to make 50K in a single account. That's still keeping it on the low side, but on the higher end of the low side. 4% is still a huge amount to make. And like I said, there's no guarantee. The way that I like to trade is as soon as I'm over past that 1%, whatever the first trade that I take that gets me over 1%, whether it be 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it gets to, I close the position and then I wait for my payout day. If I'm at 2%, I'm not going to complain and try to get to 4. If I get to 2% on my first trade, I'm done. So that's one of the rules that I personally have for myself. Even though I set this rule here, try to get to 4%. If I get past that 1%, I'm still going to wait for my payout and focus on the other accounts. So trade day is one of those accounts that I'm going to be focusing on the most, and then my live account. Now, I honestly don't think that the other futures accounts that I'm trading are going to be viable in my plan to push to 50K. Now, they were great. Top 7 alpha futures were great to get me to this point, but I don't think that I want to continue trading with them in terms of this plan to move to 50K. Now, I know I can get to 50K on those accounts by themselves, but the 5 winning days takes up too much time in my opinion, and because I am a pretty good risk trader, I don't like to over leverage and blow my accounts. I take a while. If I have a losing day, I'll stop. I won't try to make back to have a winning day, and it might take me 1 to 2 weeks to actually get a payout on those prop firms that require those 5 minimum trading days. So I think going forward, like whenever I do end up blowing those accounts, I'm probably not going to continue with them to get to 50K a month. It's mainly going to be my live account that's going to get me there. Honestly, my first 3 months trading on a live account, when I transitioned from funded accounts into live account, I actually made 60K. And that just showed me the power that I had psychologically when I was able to withdrawal daily. And that's why I also tried looking for a good prop firm with a decent reputation like Trade Day that allowed me to get daily payouts. Take Profit Trader was another one, but I ended up going with Trade Day because they had Platform X, which I also got a notification today that Platform X was removed. And so on the live account, I'm obviously trading with around 20 to 25K, I'd say on average, and then I withdraw everything on top of that every single week. My goal with the live account is just to hold swing positions, try to make, let's say, I can say 2%, but that's not obviously 2% of this account. I over leverage a lot on this account. I still use high lot sizes. I use 1 to 2 lots pretty much on gold, which is pretty big, and then 10 to 15 lots on Euro USD whenever I trade London session. So I'd say I'm still gonna aim like in 100K percentages pretty much for 3, 4, 5K per trade. And now I'm mainly happy with like 2K. If I get 1 to 2K, I'm happy with that. But like I said, I always cut off the majority of the position and leave the rest running. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue to do that on my live account. And my goal now is going to be to try to scale out. So now whenever I get a payout, and let's say I'm up 5K on the accounts, instead of withdrawing that, I'm only going to withdraw 50% of that starting now and continue scaling up my capital like that. Now, the whole point is to obviously use the money that you make and enjoy yourself. And that's what I'm doing. But I feel like now that I'm trying to scale up in order to risk less and still make the same amount that I would optimally want to make or more, I'm going to have to start scaling again. And while I've been sitting at this plateau for about a year or two, of 20 to 25K range, I think it's time for me to start moving up. And the way that I'm going to do that is whenever I get to 5K higher on the account, I'm only going to withdraw half. So from now on, 50% is the maximum I'm allowed to withdraw. And here's the plan and how I trade my live account. For everybody, this is a really good practice that you guys should have. Do not withdraw your money to your bank or to your crypto wallet the day that you make it. You withdraw it out of your account into your broker wallet, but you do not withdraw it out of your trading account. And the reason why this is because psychologically we have this level. Like on prop firms, you have the base level 100K that you're trading on or 50K. And if you're in drawdown, it hits you psychologically. So my advice is stop trading. My advice to you guys is withdraw it to your broker wallet, but not outside of your broker wallet into your crypto wallet or your bank account. You keep it inside of the broker wallet, and only at the end of the week, if you've had a profitable week and your account balance did not go below whatever you typically trade at, then you withdraw the money you make. So let's say, for example, on Monday you made $5,000. On Tuesday you made $2,000. You're sitting at $7,000. Then on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday you had a terrible little streak and you lost $8,000. Or let's say you lost $6,000, okay? Because then you could actually walk away with something. Then you still have the money that you made on Monday and Tuesday in your broker and you didn't withdraw it so that you don't have to redeposit. You just put the money that you lost back into the account. So let's say you made 7K, you lost 6K. You put 6K back into the account so you're back at the starting balance. For me, that would be 25K, for example. And then you withdraw the remaining 1,000 that you actually earned for yourself. Because otherwise you're gonna put yourself in a little bit of a hole. And so that's my advice. And that's gonna be my plan to scale up. And I'm gonna scale up from 25K to 30K this week. Hopefully through the payouts that I get, leaving 50% in the account. And then from 30K, I'm gonna move to 50K. And I think 50K is gonna be the next goal that I'm gonna sit at and trading on top of that. Because then 1% on 50K is gonna be a lot better than trading 1% on 20K and making $200. So that's my plan. 24K on trade day, hopefully within Monday, Tuesday, getting daily payouts. I can make about, let's say $1,000 days, so I can make 2K from my trade day, Monday, Tuesday, 2K per day, 4K total. So 4K there, that puts me at 28K for the month. And then on my live account, that leaves me to make the remainder, which is going to be difficult at first, but I believe once I scale my live account to a larger amount, it's going to be much easier to make that kind of money. It's still a big ask, But this is my plan to start off. I'll keep you guys updated. If you guys want to get more videos like this, sitting down with me, planning out for myself, obviously today, but if you guys want to learn more about what it takes to become a profitable trader, what it took me to get to this point, and see more of my trades every single day, I do have a trading group. I love trading with you guys. I live stream every single day at 5 p.m. for Asia session. I'm partnered with a prop firm, so if you guys are looking for prop firm accounts, it's funded here by for your information, if you were wondering. And I have great opportunities to give you guys accounts and bonus accounts, and I do giveaways every single week in my community as well. If you guys are interested in being a part of that and copying my trades or getting a prop firm account, just send me a message on Telegram. And yeah, I'll see you guys every single day in my live stream. If you guys want to see how I trade or get into trading in general, or follow me on this roadmap to 50K. If you guys want to get this, because I'm not sure how much people will watch this video, but if you guys want to get this roadmap to 50K, send me a message and I'll send you my personal plan and the prop firms that I am using, because obviously I'm using some futures, some forex prop firms, and I use a live account. The broker that I use is also a really good broker. You guys want to make sure that if you are trading with a live account, your broker isn't taking more money than they need to from you. And I did a lot of research on the broker that I personally use, so if you guys are interested in getting that, like I said, just send me a message on what you want in the Telegram. Thank you guys for getting through this video. My name is Marky. I'm going to be uploading every single day on this channel. My roadmap to 50K isn't just for trading profits, it's also going to be for my YouTube followers. I'm trying to get to 50K subs. Let's do that by the end of the year. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys every single day. Peace out.